What's up guys and girls, Lazy Dragon here, and welcome to Injustice 2, the superhero fighting game that's sweeping some nations. Haven't actually seen that many people playing it here. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Literally everybody is playing this bloody game. But they're all playing the multiplayer, and we're here to explore the story. Now, we've already covered the original Injustice, and if you'd like to see how we got to this point in the story, there'll be a playlist in the description down below. Now he is going to strip this unconscious woman. Yeah, it was basically 6 videos of that. And as we can see, NetherRealm has actually bothered to develop character models for crowds this time around. So we get to watch all these lovely innocent people get murdered as a small girl runs away from, I would say, robot skeletons, but that just sounds needlessly dumb. Also, robot skeletons who can't fit through a small pipe. Remember, 5 seconds ago, they just used a tentacle to drink a man's brain. Apparently they forget they have tentacles when chasing small children through pipes. If I had a tentacle, I'd be using it all the time. Be grabbing jars off of high shelves, slapping people from around corners. They'd have to put out a police warrant on me. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't stop me, it's the Tentacle Man. Okay, now that I've said it out loud, it sounds a bit too much like hentai. What is going on? Oh, it's Brainiac! Spoiler alert. Although not really, because he's in every bloody trailer. What could you possibly be doing with that energy weapon? Oh, you're stealing the buildings. Solid. It's almost as if the buildings are shrinking in order to get inside that ship. Like it's some sort of oh, okay, bye Brainiac. You're just going to leave a giant puddle of lava on the floor for us to clean up. That's cool. And you've abandoned your robot skeletons that have managed to make it through the pipe. Convenient. You just want a high five. 3 guesses which one of these 2 characters we will get to play as during the game. Do we get the badass older woman with a plasma rifle? Or do we get the absolutely useless kid who only survived by squeezing through a small pipe?
Destabilized the planet's core. Krypton won't hold together much longer.
But all your research, isn't there something you can do?
That's why we're here.
A spaceship? That's what you've been working on?
Your uncle Jor-El discovered a planet that can sustain Krypton.
This is the fruit of her research. Running away from her problems.
Just like this for your cousin Cal.
But Cal, he's just a baby.
Which is why you'll need to protect him.
And in about 3 minutes we have covered the entire backstory of Supergirl.
What about you?
If only comic book films could be so expedient.
No, I won't leave.
Imagine how much better X-Men Origins Wolverine would have been if the entire film was 3 minutes long. That would be an origin film worth watching.
You belong to the House of El, Kara. A house of hope. Never forget that. Never give up hope.
Never give up hope, but also run away because there's no hope for our planet. Sending mixed messages there, Plasma Rifle Mother. Turn around! Turn around! Oh, that's sweet. The last thing your little girl sees before she's jettisoned off into space is her own mother being impaled by a robot skeleton. You couldn't have given her some sort of sweet memory to remember you by? Like you turn around and grenade a bunch of them? No, she has to watch her own mother get impaled and then cries in a spaceship. What a lovely, tragic backstory. Oh, baby Superman. He's so cute. Hold on to what? There are no handles. Oh, and that's the end of Supergirl. She just drifted through space till the end of time. Title shot.
In my years fighting crime, I've learned one truth. That every villain is the hero of his own story.
Whoa, that's a
Superman
weird
was no
looking Bruce Wayne.
The Joker drugged him, tricked him into killing his pregnant wife Lois, and made him trigger the bomb.
I don't know what it is about him. Like, his face seems slightly off.
Joker, I understood why.
Like somebody was editing it in Photoshop and accidentally dragged his face down slightly too far. So now he's got really huge cheeks and his jaw's about 2 inches lower than it should be.
A new mandate. Stop all crime before.
And of course everything he's talking about was covered in the previous playthrough of Injustice.
But he couldn't see his good intentions were leading him down a path of tyranny and evil. That's how our greatest hero became.
Sneaky Daily Planet reference in the background there. Which means that courtroom was actually inside a newspaper headquarters. I mean, wait, did they not bother to rebuild the courts after Superman fell? And of course the first chapter is a bloody Batman chapter. Oh Netherrealm, you poor sods. You did so well in the run-up to this game. You gave us a greater variety of characters. We've got Wonder Woman villains, we've got Flash villains, we've got bloody Swamp Thing for some reason or another. Hey, I'm not complaining. But you couldn't fight the urges, could you? You had to have Batman right from the word go. Again, you did it in the last game as well. We can start the game with a different character. We don't always need to be Batman immediately. Would you look at that? Teleporting robot. That would be a fun character to play as straight away. Robin, you suck. So much. In every world, you suck.
A warning shot, Cyborg.
I won't hurt you unless I have to.
You're gonna have to.
My friends were in Metropolis, Batman. Starfire, Beast Boy.
He says Starfire and Beast Boy are gone, but Starfire's already confirmed to be one of the DLC characters. So remember, every character in this game is dead until NetherRealm realises they can make money off of them. Oh, now we actually get to fight in this fighting game. And Batman's combos are exactly the same as they were in the previous game. How about the super moves? Are they the same? Yep. And grappling hook's the same. Can you, excuse me, can you stop rugby tackling me to the floor? I need to kick you in the head. He can summon a Roomba! Battle Roomba! Oh, what have I done? Super move time. Somebody likes Metal Gear Solid 5. Now, hang on a second. What happened to Batman Doesn't Kill? What other use does a missile have? I mean, it's cool. No, hooray, we get the Batwing. Kind of at odds with Batman's whole moral philosophy, like. Now, slight spoilers here. This whole flashback sequence was already covered in the tie-in comics. If you've read them, you may as well skip ahead about 10 minutes. Because all this is the night Superman went really bad and tried to kill a bunch of criminals in Arkham Asylum. Which is totally different to the time Batman went to Arkham Asylum and routinely beat the crap out of all of the criminals, because they could still stand at the end. That totally makes him the hero. Oh, and Robin's called him out on it as well. Maybe you're not as useless as I first thought, Robin.
Here to help, Bruce?
Yes.
There was a perfectly good gap in that gate, Diana. You did not need to break it.
None of us wanted this, but the Joker forced our hand. Metropolis changed the world. Now we have to change with it.
Not like this.
Of all people, I thought you would understand.
You know what I understand? A good kick to the chops. That ought to sort you out. I mean, if you want to fight back at any point, Wonder Woman, that would be great. At the moment, it's not really a fighting game. I'm just sort of beating on a poor defenseless woman, which makes me feel kind of bad. Seriously, You have a sword. Use it. I'm just a dude in a leather suit. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me.
You're getting shut down.
Don't be so sure.
Ooh, a clash. How much do we want to wager? Oh, who cares? We're just going to punch her in the head anyway. And catch. And catch. And once more. Now it's hardly the time for that, Batman.
Where is he?
Cell block C. You can't turn your back on him. He needs you.
That's why I came.
I hope somebody goes and lets Wonder Woman out of the lasso. Because she's just going to be stuck there forever otherwise.
Doc, what are they gonna do with us? Where we going?
Now that's uncalled for. That clipboard did nothing to you, muscular tattooed man.
Get back in line.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Now.
Superman looking considerably more like Henry Cavill than he did in the previous games. Although his costume appears to be made out of Playmobil this time around. Last time he just had the bright red underwear on the outside, which looked weird, but hey, it's a classic, we can roll with it. Here he looks like he was dressed in a 5-year-old's playset.
Rapists, murderers.
They probably just designed him that way so it's easier to make the action figures. No, this is exactly how Superman looks in the game. He has 32 points of articulation.
When does it stop?
When there's no more crime. When people can live without fear. We want the same thing, Bruce.
I wanted to kill my parents' murderer. I could have. But that's not the life they wanted for me.
This is the same argument they spent the entire last game arguing about.
Put that on me.
If you played the previous game, you may as well have a bloody nap for this entire chapter.
A red solar grenade.
To dull your powers, you need to stop. Take time to grieve before it's too late.
You wouldn't.
You were saying, Superman? Never play chicken with Batman, because you're not going to win.
You're supposed to be my friend. Which is why
Oh, friend. Batman friend. We can't kill people, but using their corpses to attack others, that's perfectly acceptable. And do it again. Because for some reason, Superman can't fly away from a balloon.
I'm sorry, Clark.
get away from me.
Look who I found.
Who did you find, Robin?
Psychopath.
Oh, you found Victor Zsasz, psychopath. Do you reckon he has that printed on his business cards?
121.
121 kills. That's one hell of a kill streak when you finally call that in.
You'd rather fight your friends than the real problem.
I'm warning you, son.
Son?
Oh yes, this is Damian Wayne Robin, not Dick Grayson or Tim Drake or any of the good Robins. Which is why he's straight up just slit someone's
Problem
throat.
solved. Who's next?
Damn it, Damien! This is
Damn, Damian.
Then stay on your side, Batman. I'll be on Superman's.
As we can see, Robin's whole thing is swords and remote control batarangs. Batman's whole thing is kicking his enemies into toilets. There's a slight difference in fighting styles, but I like to think that they can work out their differences together over a nice bowl of sword. That was what the fuck am I talking about? And roll! Wow! What a dive, Batman. What a dive. Also, Robin's throw move looks really bloody painful. He stabs you in the chest, and then uses his sword as a diving board. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be... Well, no, it's not close. I'm just gonna punch him in the nuts.
Damien. I never meant to.
You coward. We are at war with these
Now, in the original version, in the comics, where they covered Arkham Asylum and Robin joining Superman, this was also where the original Robin died. This is where Dick Grayson got his neck snapped. By Robin.
Not today.
Surprisingly, they've left that part out of the game adaptation. So what, are we supposed to believe that Nightwing just fell over on his way out of the shower one day, and that's why he's not in this game? Yeah, instead of staring at the corpse of your adopted son like you did in the comics, you're going to stare at a psychopath and still feel the same amount of sadness.
It's been years.
You're a messed up billionaire, Brucey boy.
Superman's behind bars. Damien, my own son, is there with him. But we can't ever forget why we put them there. We must stay vigilant.
I thought your goal was to reassure people, Mr. Wayne. You're not alone in rebuilding Gotham and Metropolis. But if we don't change some minds soon...
Thought that's why you hired that overpaid PR firm, Lucius.
That line doesn't make any
convincing
sense.
folks to move back to these cities is
Why
a
do we
lot
need to
harder
convince
than
folks to
welcoming
move back to the
someone to knock 'em
cities?
down again.
You've just said that we
Superman's
have
never
support
given
in rebuilding Gotham and
I made
Metropolis.
that clear.
That Superman is beaten,
Black
the
Adam,
regime's
Aquaman,
over.
They're still out there somewhere, and seemingly immune
Wonder
to
Woman's been
consequences.
exiled by her own people. Aquaman had Atlantis lifted up and thrown in the desert, and Black Adam got punched in the face repeatedly by our universe's Superman.
Our enemies can't fight something.
Why
don't
are
know
they
exists.
scaring people?
Well, then at least follow
Oh,
one
and Batman's built a
advice
super
that
secret,
gives
top
PR
secret,
people so
spy
much
satellite, secret satellite
What's
system.
Be a little less
To
Batman,
spy on
a little
people.
more billionaire playboy. Get out around town in the daylight and smile. Focus groups show people feel safe.
Go on, Bruce. Smile. Smile, just a small smile. Ooh, his lips sort of turned up at the edge. I'll count it. I'll count that as a smile.
Consider widening your circle of trust. Nobody wins all by themselves. Not even you.
Okay, I'm calling bullshit right here. He's supposed to be dead and she's trapped in another dimension. What exactly are they doing in a random staircase?
Dinah, Oliver, thanks for coming on short notice.
You're lucky we found a sitter.
Oh, and they have a baby in this universe. Except he doesn't. Because he's a Green Arrow from a different universe to this alternate universe, where this alternate universe's Green Arrow was killed by Superman, so Black Canary found a second replacement Green Arrow from another universe that still isn't our
My
universe.
great-grandfather built the
It's...
original underground.
Just forget the story, honestly. Just look at the pretty colours and the super people beating each other up. Although he still doesn't have his little hat. I like the little hat. Green Arrow needs his little hat.
More like the Eye of
I
Sauron.
suppose... Actually, you can unlock the little hat, but you have to buy loot boxes for it. Cheers, Netherrealm.
More than that, a communications hub, linking every satellite and server on the planet. It warns us when trouble's coming, and guides us when trouble's here.
Must take a real genius to operate.
I don't know about genius, but I do got a PhD.
Who the hell let you use a computer?
Dinah's hubby. You sure came a long way.
A world away, but the change of scenery is
How did you
nice.
get here? How did you get from one world to the other? Will this ever be explained? No, probably not. Let's just all look at the pretty clown lady.
Dismantling
Okay.
the regime created gaps in global security. We're covering them where we can, but we're stretched thin, vulnerable. Harleen, show them what you found.
Righto, Bets.
Harley Quinn, who for some reason looks an awful lot more like her film counterpart than she did in the previous game.
Everyone's favorite
Surprising,
Tommy.
that.
He's got himself a band of bozos. Calls them the
Wonder if
Society.
NetherRealm regrets their character design decisions after Suicide Squad came out and everybody was like,
Where,
meh, it's kind of a crap film.
One thing we do know, Scarecrow's gonna ship Grodd a buttload of fear gas from a hideout in Slaughter Swamp. Very mosquito-y.
Good thing I packed my bug spray.
I need you three to stop that gas before it gets to Grodd.
Not joining us for the party?
Unfortunately, I can't leave Gotham without worrying the public.
Remember, this is Bruce Wayne, man who has spent years sneaking out at night with nobody discovering his secret identity, is no longer capable of sneaking out of a city.
Trust Harley?
She's a different person since Joe.
Also, his head is too bloody small for his body again. Everyone else is in proportion. Okay, stop complaining. It's a nice game. Let's all clap at NetherRealm's good game. Look, there's a swamp. Maybe there'll be a thing in it. Chapter 2, The Girl Who Laughs. Which, okay, you're doing better than the first Injustice game did. The first game didn't let us play as a female character until the second to last part of story mode. So slight improvement.
Cheeky monkey.
Okay, slight improvement's gone.
Fancy meeting you here.
Do the Spider-Man kiss. Do the Spider-Man kiss. Yeah, close enough.
Fred, I ain't seen you in forever. You here to take down these punks?
Oh no, it's Bad Cosplay Man.
Red? You're with them?
Of course she's with them, you muppet. How big of a coincidence would it have been if she showed up to take down these goons at the same time that we showed up? Of course she's with the villains.
Between him and Superman.
You're a few cones short of a pine if you think your new friends care about the green.
Grodd will keep his promises, or he'll be my next victim.
Oh, Red, why are you making me do this?
I mean, you had a perfectly good sonic scream that entire time. Would have maybe tried using that on Poison Ivy? No? Okay.
The old days were fun, but these days I'm all business.
And of course, we must take a second at the start of each match to learn all of the blasted combos. Yep, Harley's got the same moves as last time as well. Why exactly did they make an entirely new game for this, if all of the characters have just got the same movesets as last time around?
We could have had something.
Yes, sweetheart.
Do. What an amazing clash. Nobody wagered a thing. Stop bouncing off the crocodile. Makes it really difficult to shoot you. Kabloom! Oh, Ivy, you really should have seen this coming. Especially the baseball bat. The hyenas, okay, that might take you by surprise. But the baseball bat is made out of wood. Wood is supposed to be your friend.
Face your
Please.
What if that was poison gas? Harley dies within the first 2 minutes of her chapter. Ah, that's more like it. Nerdy guy with a bag over his head? Or the nightmarish embodiment of a scarecrow? I know which one I would much rather fight. Oh, what the... Bleh? Okay, first of all, that's taken straight out of Mortal Kombat. Secondly, that was badass. Do it again. Summon a clone of yourself to pull my legs into. Ah, you stood in the bear trap. What a wally. Okay, nah, that was uncalled for. All I did was stick you in a bear trap. You did not have to rip my limbs off. Stop doing that one! I don't know how to dodge it. Remember, this is the nightmare embodiment of Scarecrow, who we can only see because we've inhaled fear gas, yet for some reason we can set our hyenas on him. For all we know, he's not even there. It might just be a figment of our imagination. Yet the hyenas are still perfectly fine with chewing at thin air. Just once throw a normal grenade. Just once. If you'd thrown a normal grenade there, that would be it. The end of all your problems. At least all of your clown-related problems. Ooh, this is a pretty playground, if you're into dark and decrepit. Well, I mean, the ride's got a giant Joker face on it. Who do you think's going to be inside there?
Harley, darling.
Dun, dun, dun.
Such a big
Dun, dun. Oh god, it's the Jared Leto version. No, NetherRealm. You were doing so well up to well, you weren't doing so well up to this point. You were doing moderately okay up to this point.
The real you, buried under the floorboards. Scratch, scratch, scratching to get out. The one who cut her friends' throats. And laugh about it.
That is very cruel. You give us an awful looking version of Joker, and then give us the classic version of Harley. I don't know whether to love you or hate you. I know, I shall wait you.
Oh, Harley. Always such a disappointment. Why do I bother?
Ain't no slick fella with a cheap suit and cheaper grin telling me who I am ever again. We had mad love once upon a time.
Remember, Joker is dead in this universe. All of this is in her head. Which is surprising. I didn't expect this level of complexity from a developer whose previous works included ripping a man's head off so his spine dangled forlornly in the air. And here they are, exploring the tortured psyche of a woman who was in an incredibly abusive relationship. Are we certain that NetherRealm actually wrote this? They didn't just stick their name on the box. Like how in group projects where somebody else does all the work, and then their mate just bangs their name on at the end to get the credit. That should not work. Bud and Lou loved Joker as well, so why are they attacking him? This isn't a Ramsay Bolton, I've starved the hounds for 7 days, now they're going to eat me type deal. This is just a logical inconsistency regarding talking hyenas. I'm very disappointed in you, NetherRealm. Well, let's give up exploring the tortured psyche of a beaten woman to go and watch some boats explode. That's much more in my wheelhouse. I can deal with explosions, don't really know how to do the psychotherapy thing. Swamp Thing! Yay! As all of the fans cream themselves.
Swampy, I heard you were dead.
I guard the green, the plant life of Earth. As long as it lives, I cannot die.
So you can't die as long as there's a single plant left on the planet. What happens if there's one daffodil that somebody keeps in a vase somewhere? Would you be able to regrow from that? And if so, would you look like a giant daffodil? These are the questions that need to be answered, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing just hated that crocodile, so he's taken it off the wall. What a kind soul. He needs to redecorate in here. Gotta make certain the hyenas get their greens. Plenty of vitamin C for Bud and Lou. This is the living embodiment of all plant life on the planet, being beaten up by a mallet. Have you ever tried to beat down a tree with a mallet?
Now you ready to be all ears? It's Scarecrow and his goons you want. They're mixing toxic gas right in your backyard.
Oh no, gas in a swamp. How terrible.
I see.
See how easy it is to resolve your problems when you don't resort to violence? By which I mean you resort to violence against somebody that isn't me.
If they return, I will be ready.
Swamp Thing, you are amazing. If you ever want on the team, we'd love to have ya.
I would consider that, should our interests align. For now, go. This swamp must heal.
As he slowly gets smaller and smaller, and eventually disappears from view. It's another new character! And I'm gonna have to wrap this up at some point. When does the cutscene end? Supergirl somehow found her way to ancient Egypt. Wait, what? How did that happen? She went backwards in time 5,000 years. It's a good thing that those clothes fit. I don't think there are any Kryptonian tailors left in the universe.
Where were you?
Just in the clouds, listening.
If someone saw you,
How many
I found your superpowered terrorists. They're in Egypt. Ta-da!
I spent decades lost in space, stuck in hypersleep until Adam found my ship. And now I'm cooped up here.
How can we make you more comfortable?
Let me out. Diana, you've taught me what my powers can do. This world needs help. Earth's people are so divided. They're always fighting.
That's the world without Kal-El. Batman has eyes everywhere. He can't know about you before we're ready.
Well, I mean, we spent the previous cutscene with Batman looking at his new top-secret spy satellite system. Last I checked, the satellites were in space, so chances are he already knows about Supergirl.
we will, Kara. Just like you and I freed Diana from Themyscira.
The time will come. We'll save Kal-El, and Batman will answer to us.
And that's your foreshadowing for the rest of the game. So, I hope this is the next chapter. I think so. Who cares? Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed Injustice 2. We'll be back before too long with the rest of the story, and if you'd like to see how we got to this point, there'll be a playlist in the description. And of course, if you've got a game that you would like to see played, mocked, or just generally referenced on this channel, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. But until next time, farewell everyone.